Hi there, welcome to Dave in the Shed. I'm Dave and this is my little corner of the world, also known as the Shed Mahal. Now if you're into DIY, 3D printing and model trains, you've come to the right place. Now fair warning, I do things a little bit differently. I have cerebral palsy, which means sometimes things get a little bit creative around here, but hey, it just makes it more fun. So if you like making, fixing, and maybe even breaking things along the way, stick around. Hit that subscribe button and let's build something awesome together. G'day folks, how you going? Welcome to this week's episode of Dave in the Shed. Oh, sorry, I'm about to cough. Shouldn't do that anyway. Oh, that's a bit strange. Anyway, it's Tuesday afternoon. I thought I'd do the midweek, start videoing during the week so it doesn't all build up on one day and catch you up on what I'm doing. I've been working on the pub. I've done the artwork, but the stuff that makes the bricks stand out is look like it's got the line between the bricks, the mortaring of the bricks. Call it the mortaring of the bricks. So I've done that. I've just put a sealer coat around the brickwork because that just seals it all up, because sometimes the whitewash you use comes off on your fingers. We don't want that. My next step in the pub is I've got to hand paint all the doors and window frames, which is a tedious job. I hate doing it, but that's the next step. I have weathered up the roof, rusted off the iron. It is all a bit shiny yet, so I'll see how I go. I might put some duller coat on it later, but we'll see how I go once we get it all assembled and seal it all up with some acrylic as we go. So there's the veranda roof all dirty, but there's some now, the dreaded hand painting comes next with the little brush, not with the big brush. So far it's all been big brush, but you can see the brick effect. I've changed the lace work on the veranda to white. Some of it was green. If you look at the video last week, you'll see that it was green. But yeah, now the hand painting bit starts. But anyway, that's what I'm up to today. That'll be the next thing, is the hand painting. So we get on with that. I've got some other buildings under the way, which we'll show you later in the week, but let's just look at the pub. The other thing I've been working on today is autopsying the old Ryobi chainsaw. The thing... This is, it's out of warranty, folks. It's out of warranty. Before you panic, I'll check the date on it. Its build date is 2019, so it's well and truly out of the 5-year warranty. We couldn't get it repaired under warranty. It's well, but I've pulled it apart to have a look what's going on. I thought it was some sort of issue, but I know what's going on now. These things are pretty simple. It's either a mechanical issue or an electrical issue. And this one, I could still turn the bar over and the chain over on the bar by hand. It was all quite fine. There was no crunching sounds from the gearbox. And I decided, well, I've got a new one coming. We've ordered a new one. You've seen the Mother's Day present, which is the, what size is that? That's what they call the 8-inch. The other one is the 10-inch. But I've got a new 10-inch one coming. These have been so useful. That's why I got both, because they're just such a useful tool. I will have both, and the 18 volt. This is not a brushless motor, and that'll make sense in a sec why. And I've done a ticket, but this is a typical day thing. But I disassembled this. I did have to go to get Bunnings and get a torque driver, because I've got heaps and heaps and heaps of the security torque bits, but none of them would fit down the tiny little holes. This thing was assembled by a gorilla, I'm sure of it, because I had to get, I'll show you the bit I was using. over here. I had to go and get this set. This is it's a little bit expensive just to get this set. $40. Well, actually $39 including the discount. But anyway, and then I had to get the little vice grips on to undo the thing. I will order a special screwdriver to reassemble it. If I've got other bits I've had to buy to disassemble tools before, Ryobi tools, and I thought that would fit down the hole, but no. So anyway, rabbity on. So yeah, I don't know which gorilla assembled it, but they were over tight. But I've got them all out now. We've got the thing disassembled. While I was disassembling it, something fell out. So while I was playing around shaking it, this actually fell out, and suspiciously looks like a piece of the brush of the motor. So I think the motor's cooked. In fact, I can verify it. I did verify the motor's dead as a doornail. This is electrically very simple. There is a switch and the motor, and that's it. It's not even a variable voltage switch. It's on, off, or not. And seeing that there, and from what I don't know if you can see it down in there, but if you see down there and look down the bottom, I can see another piece of brush sitting on the bottom of the motor. The motor's gone. The motor's dead. There's no. It's not like oil or bearing or do anything. This thing is cooked. I've checked it electrically. Look, I'll show you this. Checked it electrically with the thing. Yeah, there is circuit. So there, tested the meter works. If I don't know if I can do this single hand. We'll put this on here. Pull the trigger. Up. See the motor just twitched then? It twitched. I don't know if you can see it. It's trying to go, but it is locked up. But I've got a funny feeling the brushes are absolutely had it. So yeah, so there is a circuit, works. Now I've done the typical Dave thing. Well, not yet, because I've gone online. I spoke to the my parts supplier in Sydney. There is a rebuild kit available for this, but there's none in Australia. Can't get it. But I managed to source one from China. It's going to cost me about 75 Australian dollars to get the rebuild kit, but I think I might do it. This is something that Dave does all the time, and I get in trouble for it because something plays up or something blows up and we replace it. Like this has happened with fridges and microwave ovens and TVs. And I autopsy the old ones, find the fault, repair them and get them running again. And the lady of the house gets very upset. She said, why didn't you fix it in the first place? Because a lot of the time I don't know if I can fix something. So I often pull them apart and do an autopsy and find out what's wrong, going, actually I can fix that. And buy the kits and get the things back on the air and working, and she gets pooey. Because then we had two working things. A lot of time in the old days they'd end up out the farm and bits and pieces. But anyway, I think what I might do is buy the rebuild kit for this. Probably take a couple of weeks to get here, or 3 or 4 weeks to get here from China. In the meantime, the new saws probably arrive, but why don't we free working Ryobi chainsaws? That'll be funny. And explain to everybody why you then got free saws. But anyway, that's where I'm up to. I'll get back to what I'm doing and I'll talk to you later. But yeah, just thought I'd give you a quick tour. But yeah, very simple. If it was the switch, actually, the funny thing is, if the switch was gone, I probably wouldn't have repaired it, because I don't really want to pull it apart. Like to replace the motor, I don't have to take the gearbox apart. I don't have to split the tool down any further, which is painful. So if that switch is gone, that's a total disassemble and rebuild. I'm going, nah, it's not worth it. But with this, where I can just pull the covers off and I can get access to it, and from what I can see on the thing, it's just a matter of a couple of bolts, pull out, drop the new motor in. I think that's all it is. And I'm just going to, the replacement parts come with complete wiring harness and a lot. I might just unsolder this one and solder the new motor in and not worry about replacing switches, not worry about the bits and pieces. Do it really lazy. But anyway, I'll get down to your hair now. Just thought I'd show you what's going on. It's Tuesday, and I'm still waiting for my paint delivery. So I've got locos sitting around, and we're getting a bit jammed up here. I've got some jobs I want to get done, but till the paint arrives. Yep. Okay, I'll get on with what I was doing next. Talk to you later. Well, everybody, it's Wednesday morning. Now I'm going to have to yell over the top of the turbine because today's it's a bit cold, it's a bit overcast, not cold, but a good opportunity to take a chance to fire up the old jet turbine that we use to do some of the heating in the shed. So this morning I've turned the power on and fired it up and got the old jet engine running, aka diesel heater, but anyway, very much works on the principle of the old pulse jet. Beautiful thing. So we fired that up, so that's a bit of a noise in the background, but I'll take out a bit of a walk around. It pumps out the heat, it does very well. But anyway, it's the first day it's been worth running, so I've run it. I've got it actually running full whack just to suck some fuel through and give a bit of a clean out and give it a run, because you need to run them at full blast every now and then to keep them up and running. Anyway, I'll show you what I'm working on today. Back on the pub, I've just glued all the glass in, which is overhead projection sheets sort of glued in, so we can go around here, that form the window glass. The next task is I will be gluing the veranda in. So we'll give the PVA a bit of a chance to set up. That's the front of the pub there with the glass in and the weathered effect of the bricks. So my next step is I will glue the veranda in, or veranda on, and clamp it up so it pulls the front of the building straight, and then we can work our way up or down, as in this case, because then the next thing will be the veranda supports in. But that'll be the next step on the pub. But I'll take you for a bit of a wander around, show you something else I've had to do. Now, I made a bit of a job for myself when I cut out this back wall, because a lot of the buildings along here were low relief, because they're short buildings, and they had no backs in them. So I've made up a dummy back wall. I'll have to repaint the building and the fragos and do some bits. So it now has a dummy back wall that I 3D printed up, designed and 3D printed overnight. So when you look through that way, you'll see a back wall. So the fragos have to do a bit of a restoration, because this one's knocked around down, falling apart. We'll do a bit of restoration and get all the lighting and all that up on the Frago Brothers building. Not much is going to change the station. We'll put some light in. So we'll put a back wall in Billy's. If you follow the Monday, what's the name? Anyway, if you follow Jenny Kirk's Monday Club, you'll know all about who Billy and Billy's replacement speakers are. The twins down here, I think I'm just going to reprint them and redo them, because these ones are that. So I just might think about just redoing them and building them as shorties with back walls, because at the moment there's no dividing wall. They were just placeholders. There's no back. They're sort of like half buildings, and they don't fit too well now. So I might redo those, reprint them, because you can do that with 3D printing. Wander around here and see what else is going on, so you can see from the back. So the back of these buildings, well, a big hole there for the lighting of that. Same as the thing, the fire station sort of like has half a back. I don't know if you can see through there too well. It has half a back wall, which is a bit dilapidated, the old fire station. Those guys need to raise some funds and build themselves a new fire station. Now the station has a back wall and bits and pieces, but those buildings don't have back walls. So if you see through there, you can see now, if you look through there, you can see the back wall of Fragos, and before that was quite open. Now these are placeholder buildings in the Ryobi green. Yes, you can buy Ryobi green filament. I've just printed that one. I'm going to reprint this one because I'm not really happy with the quality of the print, so I'm going to work on that. So that is the new buildings. It'll go here, and yeah. So these two buildings are like, yeah, probably wrong with this. This one's a bit dirty and mucky, and I wasn't happy with the paint job, and then I dirtied it up, but it's kind of good, so I'm happier with that. It's looking old and tired, which is good, because that's sort of roughly it's an industrial working area. It's a bit old and a bit tired, so it's looking good. And then you'll have that building there, and then of course the pub goes in there. So why cutting out that back seam was an interesting endeavour. It has created a bit more work than what I planned, but hey, we're doing it. Now if you haven't been down this side, haven't seen this side, this is the wharf side. This is the wharf where the ships, because it's an industrial working railway, it's based on a river port where the boats turn up here and you unload the cargo to go up the factory up the hill, based roughly on the idea of what the old Parramatta River Tramway was. So this is a ship here with some cargo on board, ready to unload. This is the Mari Ray, named after my mother, of course, like you do. There's a trawler. I don't know what a fishing trawler would be doing in the harbour, but must have had a lot of traffic here because there's some big cranes. They're big cranes. Oh, show people. So that's the big crane based on one that's on the Clyde, not the Clyde Australia, in the Clyde River in the UK somewhere. Anyway, here's Banjo Patterson. He used to be holding up the bar in the old pub. We'll probably put him in. G'day, Banjo. Everybody knows about the famous drunk guy Banjo Patterson, who was a famous drinker and wrote a few poems as well on the side. So that's what I'm up to today. This is just an update. So they're the buildings, where they'll sit, and yeah, I've got the back walls. So that's the back of Billy's right there in the front and centre of the camera. So I'll probably put a printing one now, probably put a back wall in Billy, and those other ones, I think I just might rebuild them. So that's what we're up to today. I'll crack on with a few bits and pieces. We'll talk to you later. Well, it's Wednesday afternoon, folks, mid-afternoon Wednesday. I'm just going to show you the progress in the pub. The pub is coming along well. As I said, I probably did show you the windows are glued in. Well, now we have the veranda on the pub and the lacework on the veranda all glued in. Now, the posts are glued down. The veranda is currently clamped down to the tabletop to keep everything. The thing is, we don't want to stress the building too much. We don't want to bend anything out of shape. So the easiest way to keep it square is to clamp it down very lightly. These are just holding things in place while glue sets up. And to keep everything nice and square, I've clamped it to the table. I know that sounds strange, but if I squeeze the building itself by clamping to the floor of the thing, you can bend the pub out of place, and PLA is very good for bending. It'll bend when you want it to, bend you want. So yeah, so my bit of pressure on it just to keep the veranda down, keep the post. You can see the glue on the post there. But instead of squeezing, because it's very easy to over tension the pub. Yeah, the pub's always got a lot of tension, haven't they, sometimes? So there we go. There's the veranda on the pub on. The glue's a bit slow today because it's a bit cold, so that's that. Oh, over here, have a look at this. Done a bit of work on the Frago Brothers Builders store. Hang on. Oop, light on or off. So we have a back wall on. We've painted the back wall. Don't know if we can get down in there. The lights are back on. The lights are on in the hardware store. We haven't got all the street lights back up. This is reminiscent of the Fragars, well, one particular Fragar who owned the lighting plant at Golgon. I've put photos up on, talked about that before, but yes, okay, we've got lights on in the hardware store. Now, I'm still working on other bits and pieces. Billy's got to, go around and have a look. Turn the town lights on. So, Billy's got a back wall in and painted. It's a bit rough paint job, but once the other building's behind it, you won't see it, but at least you'll be able to see the back walls painted. If you come down here, look through down the alley, you'll see the Fragars have a back wall, and that's painted in colour matched, and you'll see what's happening. I think I'm going to run with this building. Been umming and ahhing about the paint, but I think it looks okay in the rough paint job. It's got a veranda to go in front of. The bakery, well, it's given me hard work. This version didn't print too well. I tried to do another print and it sort of like failed, but I'm on my third version of that, of printing, sort of like starting to print the bakery. So that'll be the bakery, and I'm sort of like, yep, happy with the building and the shape. It's just getting it all to come out, will be good. And of course the blank spot where the pub will go. And the twin buildings over there, yeah, I'm just going to rebuild them, I think. So that's where we're up to in the rebuilding the main street, since we decided to take out the back seam. So we're poking along, getting some bits and pieces. Things will slow down because I've got other stuff I've got to get onto tomorrow and do, but they might get some progress done. What's going to slow us down is printing, I think. Will be good. So that's where we're up to. I don't know what's going to be next. Well, I'm still working on the pub. The pub's my focus. I get the pub done. I tend to do that. I tend to start a project and I get distracted. So we've got 2 projects on the go. We'll get the pub finished. Oh, good news. Good news. After a song and dance and chase around, and I've got some paperwork that I'll share, Photoshop, is my parcel turn up. Haven't opened it yet, but hang on. Find a knife, see if I can do this one-handed. Got a card in the mailbox at lunchtime saying there was a parcel to pick up, which is interesting. A reminder notice of all things. But I know this thing's been sitting at Bathurst for a week because of the tracking, so I don't know if they're trying to convince me that it's me playing silly buggers or something, but no, it's been, I'll put the photo in. Here we go. This is from Hobbies. So this is where we're going next. I've got some really fine masking tape and the paint to do the NJ and other projects we're playing at. The New Zealand logo, paint for the New Zealand logo, paint for the NJ, and the masking tape to get all that done. Woohoo! That is a relief. But I don't know why they try to pretend like a reminder card. Yep. No, this has been sitting. I know, because the tracking, and all of a sudden, even when I went there, I said, oh, I wasn't expecting this today, because the tracking still says at the Bathurst. They looked on their machine in the post office, and it did. They said, oh, we better make sure mark it as arrived before we hand it over. Anyway, let's get on. There we go. Great, cough that up. But anyway, good day, folks. Well, this is the end part of the video. It's now Friday lunchtime. Just going to film some video and then we'll edit some video so we get our video out on Friday. But it's Friday, just giving you a show and tell. I'm in the cat room yesterday. I went and did a bit of op shopping. Found a few bits and pieces. Found these benches. Horrible green colour. But I thought, right, that's exactly what I've been. I've been looking for a way to build a cover to go over the outdoor unit of the split system because somebody's bound to sit on it. It's a perfect height, so somebody's bound to come and park their butt on it, which is what you don't want. So I found these two stools and I've been doing a bit of engineering on them and extended the legs. So made up some legs and some spaces and welded it all up. So we now have a bit of a bench there. Give it the wobble test. Done a bit of strapping around that, bit of pull noodle engineering, electrical tape just to cover up the rough edges so nobody's going to get caught on anything and do that. So I thought that's brilliant. So I'm very happy with that. So now you can park your carcass on there and have your coffee and have a chat and play the cats. Also found a big heavy table. I'm not sure whether it's meant to be a desk or something. Perfect size for what we wanted. Ignore that white cupboard there, that's just a placeholder because underneath down here will be cat litter trays and the poo station down there when we get that finished. But found this big heavy table, metal structure, and I've added the started doing the catification. Cats being tree animals, so we've got to try and make industrial indoor trees. Can't really grow, well I suppose I can grow a tree in here, but anyway, so we've been adding the bits and pieces, so that's where we've been up to, and that all this stuff was like happy to pay really cheap prices. I think that table cost us 20, and these they charge only $5 each for these stools. So amazing, and paid a bit over the cost of this cabinet. It was 20, but we'll use it. I might cut it down, might cut the legs off. It's on a thing yet, so it might get used for part of the poo station or something else, but okay. It's not a bad find. It's very interesting because it's got doors on it that open like this. Now, unfortunately, those bits in there are too small to put poo trays in. Otherwise, it'd be a perfect poo. We might work out a system yet, but it's a little bit too small for a cat to get in there and be comfortable. But anyway, it measured perfectly when I measured it, but I measured on the outside and forgot that, you know, typical Dave, it's the inside measurements going to happen. Anyway, that's what we're up to in the cat cage. So we've got this humongous cat tree and bits and pieces. Little cat's been out here. She's hiding at the moment. I've just been having some lunch, so they've joined me for lunch and doing that, and don't know what they're up to. But anyway, so far so good. Now, let's pause this, jump into the workshop. Got some stuff to show you. No, sorry, squeaky door. You can tell some heavy engineering has been undertaken because the big workbench is out and about. I've been using the little new multi-purpose. This is a brilliant unit from Best Arc. The same people who made my plasma cutter. It's a multi-purpose. It can be gasless, MIG, gas MIG. You can TIG, you can stick, you can do all sorts of stuff with it. But good little hobbyist unit. It has a good duty cycle. I've never timed it out. The old Oz Autos, every now and then, the duty cycle on that is I did time it out and have to let it cool down. I haven't done any stick with this yet. I did do quite a bit of stick with the Audi stick welder. The old Audi stick, the duty cycle on that was next to nothing. You'd do 3 or 4 rods and that was it. You'd have to let it cool down forever. I haven't put everything away yet because I'm expecting a job to turn up sometime today or next couple of days. Ran into Uncle John in Woolies yesterday and he said, "Oh, did you get your dad's welder out of the workshop?" And I thought, that's really good. If he wants it, he can have it. And I said, yeah, I've got it at my place and I've tested it out and cleaned it up and it's all safe to use. And if you want it. Oh, he said, no, I've got some windmill parts I want welded up. I'll bring them down to you. Yeah, I was more likely to give Uncle John the welder and say, look, do it yourself. But anyway, apparently he's going to come round. I won't use the stick, I'll just MIG him up. Use the MIG. Anyway, I found this. Oh, this is a magic piece of equipment when I was op shopping yesterday. It's lime green. It had to come home with me. Look at that. It's one of those, 1980s, 1970s moulded plywood chair. The gas strut in this is well and truly gone, but I've done a bit of farm boy engineering on it, so I've rebuilt it. You can get rebuild kits for the gas struts in these, but you're looking at $30 or $40 where I've done a Dave fix. I've done a farm boy engineering, some pool noodle and some duct tape. Look, and just jam that in there. It's not going anywhere. It's soft. It's got a bit of cushioning. Oh, but once again, $5 for that green colour. Had to come home to the shed. News on the chainsaws. Look at this. There is the mighty Mother's Day present up on the top. The new Ryobi, the big chainsaw, 18 volt brushless, arrived. Quite funny, I was rushing around like a mad goose Thursday, dropped in the Bunnings, had to grab some stuff, spoke to the girl at the special order desk and said, how are we going with that chainsaw? How long that's going to take? She said, oh, it'll be at least 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks since we ordered it, so, she said another 2 weeks. But, yeah, not a problem. She rang up yesterday morning, said, chainsaw's here. Hey, what? What? So I had to go down and pick it up, and while I had a laugh, she said, yeah, I told you it'd be 2 or 3 weeks, and here it is. So picked that up yesterday afternoon. Haven't unboxed it yet. Probably tomorrow. I've got some big twigs and that and pieces we have to do some work on, but no rush. Let's keep wandering around. The paint, you've seen the paint turned up. Seen that, the loco's here ready to thing. But let's have a look at the buildings, Dave, what you've been working on. Let's wander around. Excuse me. So I'll start round the front. Rebuilding the main street because of the lighting and doing all that, some bits and pieces. And also because I cut out the back scene. Have a look at earlier videos. So all the buildings used to be low relief, be half buildings, and now they've got to be full buildings. So I've started reprinting the shops. This one is a lovely multicoloured, almost be a heavy hemp shop, hey? I've been just using up bits and pieces of material that I had in the Flash Forge machine, and it's actually really good at using little bits and pieces and bits. So that's a very multicoloured building. Once again, it'll be spray painted. And then I ran out of all the bits and pieces, so I've got some lovely orange, bright orange stuff left over, so started printing with that. So that's where we're up to on the shops. They've still got, there's no roofs, there's no awnings, but they will have them to match the others. Fragars, as you've seen, got a back wall. Billy's got a back wall, but these ones were half relief, no sidewalls. So we've got brand new shops there. We'll wander around. We'll keep going around, Dave. Past the bits and pieces and go around and have a look at the pub. Pub's mostly assembled. Sneak around here so you can look at the pub. Pub's looking good. The roof's not on yet because I've got to put the lighting and do all the bits and pieces, but that's the pub. Now, there's a big stuff hump in the pub. I didn't realise till I was gluing and assemble it, but I'm not going to fix it. Adds to the character. And let me know. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but we'll show you the pub and see if you can find it out. Yeah, a little interesting error in the pub. So the pub looks good. Now you can look through there, you can see the back of Billy's with his blue wall and bits and pieces, and the back of this, what is the station, and the new shops down here. are done. Now these two have still like an interesting effect on them. I was trying to, you know that lime, that pink, horrible 70-ish fake, what's the word, fake, I can't think of it. It's a the stone top, the fake marble that they did. So I was trying to recreate it. I'm quite happy with that, the fake on the colour on this building. And this guy's was printed in the Ryobi green filament that I had, and then I waxed some white paint, and it's almost gone luminous green. I actually like the effect. I think I'm going to leave like that. Or they might put another coat on it, but it's got a bizarre. I mean, look, it's different, and it's quite an amazing colour. But anyway, it's a very 70s colour. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. We might just leave it. But anyway, that's where we're up to on the buildings and bits and pieces, and we will wander back along there. So it's all looking, it's a very narrow gap here, so I can't get too far around. For our banjos out in the main street, we'll have to reinstant him in the bar and the pub when we get things set up. But there you go, that's how the main street's looking. Very impressed with the pub, apart from the little stuff up. Don't forget, leave a comment, like and subscribe. Let me know how you're going on. But that's about it for this week. We'll have to pan around what projects are going on. So come back and join me next Friday. We'll hopefully have something new. We've got some paint to get on some locos. There's 3 logos to paint now, so that'll be interesting. We've got some chainsaws to play with. We've got more DIY in the cat room and other bits and pieces. You might see me repairing a windmill. You never know. So till then, take care, look after yourselves. Don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, get out there and you have a go at doing some DIY stuff in your shed. This video is not sponsored by Bunnings. They just happen to be the nearest hardware store to me. So till then, look after yourselves. I've been Dave in the Shed. You've been a lot of fun. Catch you next week. Bye.